Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's on behalf of Pat, Shane, myself, Slangin The Bizkit, episode 40. This week's episode is going to be a little bit different than it typically would look like. We're going to be doing a longer podcast. So the 40, 45, 50-minute podcast is kind of out the window. We're going to be doing a 2-3 hour podcast for this week. The idea that Pat and I had in mind was that we just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has made the podcast what it is. It's grown a lot in the last couple months, especially since we started in April. I guess almost a year now. And a lot of podcasts will do like a best of, they share the best interviews, the best clips, the best highlights. We said, why don't we just bring people on who have made the podcast what it is? So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So the podcast may drag out a little bit long, but we're going to be bringing some people on who have supported the podcast. Maybe you're listening, you're one of the people that are on today. We're also going to be answering a lot of viewer submitted questions. So it's all about the viewers, the support we've had through 2021 and hopefully rolling into 2022. First off, I want to give a quick shout out to our boy, DoorDash Pete, who could not make the podcast today. Shout out to you, buddy. Thank you. I had a lot of requests to bring you on. Order of business number one. So Pat Shea is looking very, very different today. He's actually looking very good. It's a new hairstyle that he's got going on. He has his new Shea Hydrated merch, I believe, dropping soon. Pat, give us an update. How you're looking, how you're feeling, and where you're chiming in from.
Me.
That's you. That's you, Pat. Yes.
Oh, new Pat. Sorry, new Pat. Yeah, I'm good. I am currently in, I don't know if you know where Aldershot is, but it's outskirts of London in the United Kingdom, and repping the new hoodie. I think it's patshay.com.
Yes. So Pat, I have to ask, how'd you go from Portland, Maine to the UK? What happened? What changed?
PCR tests, flights,
Oh, that stuff.
Who can put up, and who doesn't want to go to Winter Wonderland in London? I mean, there's better Christmas markets around, but
I mean, I'm thinking the Caribbean, maybe Mexico. That actually, if you're watching the video version, you're kind of on my bullshit. Mr. Shea is not here for the podcast right now. He is currently running behind. Should be here in about 5 minutes time. No, we do not have the border to Mexico. He is running late from an ice time, I believe, or a team workout from the Mariners. So we have a podcast and we have guests scheduled. So Pat will be showing up in a couple minutes, but for the time being, Emma is our first guest. Viewer of the week twice, correct?
I think once, but I'll take it again.
Once? Okay. Listen, everybody is viewer of the week this week. Everybody is. So first off, I just want to say thank you very much. Obviously, like you said, you're viewer of the week one time. You submitted a question, a couple questions actually, like many other people did. Your question for the Q&A and, to come and ask Pat and I was, can you please bring back beef of the week? Also, I want to know the worst gift given this year or previous, funniest festive memory.
Yeah.
Those are your questions? Is there anything else that you wanted to pencil in for the next time being until Pat shows up? Because if you've never seen the podcast, kind of the behind the scenes works, when Pat says he's 5 minutes away, he could be 5 hours away. So we're trying to kill some time here.
Maybe current Netflix series. I'm trying to see it because I'm sure you're going to get a lot of hockey questions. I thought.
There's a lot of hockey questions.
Just see how you guys are doing.
Yeah, well, I'll go with this. The worst gift ever given. I'm going to go with socks or underwear because I feel like every man, once you hit the age of like 14, 15, you start, piling up the socks and the underwear. But the thing is, like, as fast as you get them is as fast as the laundry machine just kind of eats them and then they're gone. I really don't know what happens to them. What other kind of bad gifts have I gotten? I don't really think I've got any bad gifts, to be honest with you. I think I just get, basic dude stuff. I get shampoo, I get, toothpaste, all that kind of stuff. I'm not a very exciting person to shop for.
And the essentials.
Actually, you know what? My mom was asking me the other day, she's like, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, well, I don't think there's anything that I want that you're going to want to get me. She's like, try me. How about a $350 stick? Nope. How about a new laptop? Nope. Nothing. So I'm very hard to shop for. Funniest festive memory you wanted to ask. Funniest festive memory. 4 years ago, my last year junior B hockey, we had like a team, like a Christmas dinner and whatnot. And the guy who was supposed to play Santa, like dress up as Santa, showed up liquored out of his mind. And he was actually running late at this point in time. And so, everybody's going to, patient or non-patient, right? They want the the party to go on, and I said, I might play Santa. I can play Santa. I'm not as fat as Al is, but I can definitely put on the Santa suit. And so I put on the pants, and I was about to get the rest of the getup going, and then Al showed up, liquored out of his mind, and then he played Santa. He was in front of all the charity, or in charge of all the charity, the fundraising for our team. So he was an interesting guy. He was a really interesting guy. You ever seen Blades of Glory when Chaz Michaels has like the Grublets costume underneath and he's doing the skating as the booze? Yeah, that was Al.
It was like that.
Yep, right underneath the Santa Claus costume, he had the Mickey of Pink Whitney. He had you name it, all the liquor of choices. The Fireball. I think that's a rum or a liquor of choice. All that kind of stuff. I don't drink, so I don't really know all the liquors and whatnot. But Al was a heavyweight. Al could definitely pound her back. So that probably is one that stands out in my mind. And then can you please bring back beef of the week? Evan, let me turn the tables on you, okay? A page out of Step Brothers. What is your beef of the week? What's the beef that you have right now with somebody, something, somewhere? Please enlighten us.
So the only thing I'd probably say is I was trying to park the other day and I'm not the best driver. So average at best, but all that. Some woman had just taken her children out of the car next to me, and instead of putting them on like the pavement next to, it is a shopping. I was going to supermarket shopping, so instead of putting her children on the path, she puts them behind my car.
No.
Can you move? Yeah, like just leaves them behind my car. I'm like, I thought, well, I'm blocking the road now, and I can't reverse because I'm going to run over your kid. But I would say that's my only beef of the week. Otherwise, it's been full of festive joy.
Now, how do you feel about playing a little episode of Doctor? And not doctor in the sense like you're going to go to the doctor to get checked out. Like a doctor, I'm going to diagnose the situation. We're going to try to problem solve what happened and the options that you could have had. Okay, so you're driving a what kind of vehicle?
A Kia.
Okay, and you're on the right-hand side of the road, correct? You're in the UK?
Yep.
Okay. Lady was driving what that she pulled the children out of?
No, we're on the left-hand lane. Like we drive on the left-hand lane, but we sit on the right-hand side of the car. Does that make sense?
Whoa. So it's ass backwards as North America, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then the lady
North
that
America drive.
Okay, so the lady who pulled the kids out though, she was driving a what?
No idea.
Okay, let's just say a minivan.
Okay.
2 Kias. Okay. I'm thinking what you got to do, you got to throw it in reverse, and you just got to inch your way back. Just inch by inch by inch. You let the kids know the brake lights are on. We're backing up. I mean business. I'm not stopping. You got to move. And if they don't, they're going to learn a very hard lesson very quickly. Problem is, you got to check your insurance. You got to double up on the life insurance, double up on the policy, make sure you're covered. So if something happens, you're in the clear. You're good. And if anything, you're getting a claim, you're getting maybe like a new bumper or something on the Kia, because I know Kias don't really hold up too well. They're almost as bad as Chevys. I had a Chevy. I had to sell it this summer. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Actually, while we're on the whole Chevy topic, so I personally don't own a vehicle, so you're a little bit ahead of me in life. I had to sell my vehicle over the summer. I have a bike though, so I bought a bike over the summer, and I was getting to like the grocery store, to the gym, everywhere on my bike. So I was planning for like this summer when I do go back home. I can't afford a car because YouTube and podcasting is still my full-time job, and the prices of cars and gas and everything are going through the roof. And I had this idea. I was like, what if I got like a child stroller, like a kid's stroller, and I just like stripped it down. I took off the cover, took off everything, and then I kind of like modded it out, like fit my bag, my pads and everything on there, and I just ripped on my bike, up and down, 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers to the rink, pull my gear. I don't know what I'm going to do about the sticks, but that could be my...
You know what you can get? You know those for like kid trailers that you can put on the back of like bikes, or in Holland, don't they have those bikes that have like the big old I say basket, but it's more like a cage on the front that kids sit in.
That's a good idea. It's even a better idea, because that's probably got some good size to it, is that I don't even need a bag at this point in time. I could probably just strip back the carriage and just throw everything in there. No bag required. Just chest protector, pants, skates, jocks, socks, everything, and just rip it on into the rink, park it in the dressing room, and there you go. The stroller, or the deconstructed carriage, is now my hockey bag.
Who needs a car?
Well, I don't really have an option. A little bit about yourself, though. So you're from the UK. How old are you? What do you do for work? If you're unemployed, how long have you been unemployed? What are you looking to do? What's your life goals here? Let's get a little bit deep here on the podcast.
I'm 28,
Okay.
just turned 28.
Oh, happy belated. When's your birthday?
1st November, so a month.
Okay.
Well,
Happy belated.
I so don't want to turn 30. I don't want to get old. It's fine. But I work as an administrator for a military administration building, which is fun. See a different type of life there. It's very much sort of 9 to 5 office job. Pays the bills.
Okay. And this is your full-time career, or this is your full-time job for the time being?
Just full-time job for the time being. So I always felt the pressure at school, and they're like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't even feel grown up now, and I still don't know what I want to do. I'm sure it will happen, but I wouldn't necessarily call it could be a career job, but it's just a job.
It's kind of weird how you find these jobs that you stumble upon maybe on like a Facebook listing or a recommendation from a friend. You're like, you know what, I could use a couple bucks, maybe some drinking money on the weekend, and then you bang out 10 years, you bang out 20 years, and you're there for a while. You're getting a pension plan, and then you're off sailing into the sunset. I think it's crazy how some of that stuff does turn about. But if it makes you feel any better, so you're 28, I'm 25, turning 26 in June. Yeah, June. Maybe that's worrisome that I had to think about that for a sec, but. I still go through the same thing every single day. I'm like, what am I going to do for my career when I grow up? And then I realized, shit, I got stuck on YouTube podcasting with Pat Shea. I don't think you really go up from here.
But you leave behind a legacy regardless, don't you?
A digital footprint.
Yeah, exactly. And like you will always look back on what you had. There's always going to be a record of what you did.
Which makes it tough to get jobs.
Everyone's like, I've seen your YouTube. Nope.
So, Mr. Ridgen, step in the office. Yes, so you're applying for this a job as a CPA, a chartered professional accountant. Could you please explain to me this video that I just found on YouTube of you smoking crack behind a 7-Eleven? Well, different times, Rob. Things have changed, my friend.
You're like, that wasn't me. I don't know who that was. It was not me.
Yeah, well, you got to have either an airtight excuse, or you just got to let them know this is exactly what you think it is. I have no excuses.
But people grow and people change, right?
Yes, speaking of changing, Mr. Shea, Pat has just texted me my Skype is not loading.
Dude, my Skype was not malfunctioning.
Is your video version going? Are you rocking the camera yet or no?
I'll start it right now.
Okay, fire it up, my friend. Fire it up. You joined us just at a great time, actually. Emma just asked, Spiderman, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, or Tom Holland, who's your guy of choice?
Oh, this is Come on, say that again.
Emma, you want to ask the question again?
No, sorry.
Yeah, top spot.
Me.
Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, or Andrew Garfield. Who's the best Spider-Man?
Like not popular opinion. I go with Andrew Garfield.
Come on. Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Wake up, Pat. Come on.
Well, Tobey Maguire was first. That doesn't mean he's best.
But it reminds me of my childhood when I didn't have to work a job and times were a little easier. That's why I like it. Brings me back.
It definitely does. But have you seen the new movie?
Well, we just talked about this. So I was supposed to go with my agent. He bailed and decided to go with his girlfriend instead. Now won't go with me for a second time. So I'm still trying to find somebody in the Gothenburg area to go watch the movie with. If you're in the Gothenburg area and you want to see Spider-Man, haven't seen it, send me a message. Let's go sometime. Popcorn's on you, of course.
Well, are we talking spoilers or?
No, I don't want it to be spoiled. I heard it's really good.
Right.
I want to see it.
Well,
please.
Yeah. So then my simple answer to the question is I was a big fan of Andrew Garfield. I don't know why. I liked his humor. Emma, who did you pick?
Well, I didn't actually pick yet, but I would have put Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and then Tobey Maguire. But I don't think that goes with what Trav would say.
See, Travis?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
My dad's not going to be happy with this, but you know what? Me.
No, thank you. No.
While we're on the topic, I burned through the questions that Emma had, but obviously you haven't. And her questions were she wanted to know what's the worst gift you've ever gotten? Can be this year, can be any year, and also your best festive Monday or festive memory. God.
I feel like the worst gift is like at any point when I was a kid and I got clothes. Like whether it was from, Santa or just like a godparent they gave, and I'm excited opening up a gift expecting like, I don't know, Spiderman toys, Batman toys, and I get like a pair of jeans. That was like my worst nightmare ever as a kid. Best holiday memory? Is that the second question? That's tough.
You ever get Hungry Hippos? Was that one?
Hungry Hippos? You used to play that a lot?
That was a good Christmas when I was 9 years old. I got Hungry Hippos.
Damn. Yeah, I feel like when I got this bat cave, I was pretty hyped about getting a bat cave. But there was one Christmas, I was a very hardcore Santa believer until I was like older than I'd like to admit. And one random Christmas I decided, you know what, I want an electric guitar. And yeah, I don't know why, but I thought like, yeah, I'm going to go learn. I don't know how to play the guitar. I have no musical experience, but I want an electric guitar. And I got one. And my older brother was kind of, he's kind of an ass. So he's like, comes down, he's pissed. Santa's not real, Pat. I'm like, yeah, he is. Look, I got my guitar. And he's like, look at the shipping address on the side. It says shipped to Lorraine Shea by ground shipping. And I'm like, no. I'm like, Santa shipped it by ground to Mom. I was hardcore believer.
Yeah, Santa has a business account with ground shipping.
Yeah. I'm like, he chose to have his elves ground ship it. It saves him some room on the sleigh.
Yeah, he had some bad experience with UPS. He said, man, we got to get out of here. We got to get a better account, better deal with ground shipping.
What did your parents tell you, though? Because my parents told me that they gave Santa the presents and then Santa delivered them to us. So the elves didn't make them.
Wow. That was probably a better option. It didn't matter for me. I was believing either way. I just Santa, because as you get older you start, I don't know, asking for like technology. The elves can't really make it, it gets a little iffy. You're like, oh, my elf made my Apple iPhone. Interesting. So I think
Santa, I want a G-Wagon.
Yeah, I think my mom said like they sent them to Santa or something like that, like the companies or something. I bought it.
Yeah, Santa has like a sorting, like a distributing factory up in the North Pole.
Yeah,
high tech.
It's better than Amazon actually. It's rivaling Amazon. Santa's workshop.
Oh, next Jake Paul fight, one of the undercards, one of the prelims is going to be Santa versus Jeff Bezos. He's going to knock him out in 2.
That's the fight to see.
Oh, man, just knock Jeff Bezos and his bald head upside down.
That's right.
Have you seen the video that was floating around for a bit? There's some guy in New York City. He saw Jeff Bezos walking out and about, coming out of Starbucks with his coffee. He's got his security guards, and he says, Mr. Bezos, you're an amazing man. I'm an Amazon customer. I'm curious, what's above a Prime member? How do I become better than a Prime member? And you can see the look on his face. He's like, I should do something about that.
Sorry, I have not seen that though. No.
It's interesting. Anyway, on that note, I guess that wraps us up for time. We got to get on to our next guest, Emma. It has been fun. It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on, and thanks for listening to Slangin The Bizkit every week like you do and being our viewer of the week. Episode 19, I think it might have been. Maybe 25. And yeah, Pat, any final words?
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching all the time too. I know you're always commenting. You're a loyal commenter, so we greatly appreciate your support. Obviously, it makes it much funner and better to do when people are appreciating and supporting. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on, and have a great New Year.
Next guest for our Christmas special, we got Cam Givens. He is somebody who I've met many moons ago. Listens to the podcast, loves to sling biscuits every now and then, every Thursday with us. A Michigan boy. He's got a couple of things he wants to talk about for this episode of the podcast. Cam, welcome to the Slangin The Bizkit program, and happy to have you on here.
Guys, how we doing? It's a pleasure.
Welcome, Cam. It is great to have you on. What part of what town in Michigan you from?
It's from Traverse City, so northwest. Trav's been there, not for a long time, but a good time. So, no, it's a beautiful area. I'm actually living directly across the state in Alpena now, a couple hours away. But yeah, born and raised in Traverse City.
I was curious if you met Trav during his drinking days. You said he was having a fun time. Was he buzzed up?
No, I mean, honestly, Trav, I think how long were you there? Exactly.
I think I was in Traverse City for about 2 weeks? Maybe 2.5 weeks? Give or take, yeah.
We didn't, I honestly didn't really, because that was like kind of during training camp too, so the guys weren't really like quite together yet.
Boys were dialed.
So I didn't really see you off the ice a whole lot, so I'm not exactly sure what you were doing for the time you were there, but for the time at the rink, it was about the only time I got to know you, so I might have to dive a little deeper into that, but.
Absolutely. That was actually one of Cam's questions he wanted to ask, so we'll get into that, but one thing I did want to point out, I know we have about 5 or 6 guests coming on, but I'm getting like big radio vibes, like the movie Goon. Hello, you're blowing hot ice. What can I do for you? Oh, I got a question for the thug. Do you like hot dogs? Yes, I like hot dogs. Why? Because you like cocks in your mouth? Oh shit! Turn the phones off, Sully, you bastard! Like,
do you think we're gonna get someone come pop in like that?
I really hope we do. Honestly, I think it'd be great for business. Yeah,
be good.
Dude, there's a couple people who left comments on the post to submit your questions, and they're trying to be like internet tough guys. I messaged every one of them. Podcast 1 p.m. Eastern. Will you come on? I'd love to have you on. Nothing. I messaged 4 guys. I think 2 of them seen it, no reply. The other 2 just didn't bother replying. So
they asked normal questions or they were talking shit?
Well, they would message me, or I think there was 2 guys left comments on the post that were just like, Travis watched stuff, Travis this, Travis that. I said, come on the podcast. We'd love to have you. Seriously, like, here's your get out of jail free card. Come on the podcast. Right. Nothing.
They wimped out. Well, that's on them.
Soft. That's okay though. We got Cam though. Cam's a little bit of an upgrade.
Honestly, I kind of made the comment like half jokingly, and then I got the message like 30 seconds later. And I was like, "Oh boy, all right, yeah, we're gonna do this." So I was pretty excited. I honestly didn't know if you guys would take the bait or not, but Trav seemed all in, so I figured why not.
I saw that. I was like, man, we should get him on. So anyway, why don't you word it in your own words? The question that you want us to, or the conversational piece you want us to have, Cam.
Yeah, just first off, the kind of dive in a little bit to that league itself, because I don't think a lot of people really know about it. That was only around for a few years, which I think the guys that I owe it to the guys that played in that league to kind of shed some light on it. And then obviously just your time, like what you thought of the organization and your time there, and the management. And
so Cam's talking about the Traverse City Hounds, a tier 3 junior A team in Traverse City, Michigan, in the USPHL. So I had signed with the Sioux Firehawks that same year.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I got the invite. I drove all the way out, and then I get told, well, actually, we don't have any money, so we're folding. Shit. So I go back home, and I'm like, well, I wonder what I'm going to do. I get a call from Scott Gardner.
Scott Gardner, yep.
Scotty G, yep. Scott gives me an email. We get on the phone, and he offers me a contract. So I look over the contract. I sign it, send it back to him. Congratulations, Travis. Happy to have you. Be a Traverse City Hound. Excellent. And this wasn't just to send me the contract. I'll sign it. We went over some details. So, set up a flight or whatever. Get taken care of out to Traverse City, and never talked to the coach. Stan? Was it Stan the name of the coach?
No, it wasn't. We had a Stan on the team, which is a whole nother podcast worth of stories in itself. But no, so we had Jacek Wilk was our head.
Jacek, yes, that was the coach. Yes.
He was kind of our half GM head coach, kind of assistant coach, kind of did everything. So.
And so we had those guys, and then we had Lester, the owner, and I hope I don't get called out for being a racist. Who was the black coach? I can't remember his name.
EJ Phillips.
EJ, oh dude, that dude was such a beauty.
EJ was a beauty, man. I still talk to him. He's really big in the Jamaican Hockey Federation and building the game over there.
2 things I want to drop on that front. He was the one who picked me up from the airport, And so I'm texting him as I'm getting off the plane, and he's like, "Where are you at?" "Oh, I'm at gate whatever. I'm coming out. I'll be at like 20 minutes." He sends me a selfie of himself, just like up like this close to the camera, and he's like, "This is what I look like." And so I'm like, "Man, this guy's a beauty." And then I don't know if you remember this as well. We're doing a workout, like a team workout upstairs, and he tells her like upstairs in the rink on the Traverse City Center Ice, and he says,
I'm
"Gentlemen,
gonna stop you. Was it the backflip?
backflip." I don't know. It wasn't the backflip. No.
Oh, okay, but I think I do know where you're going with this though.
Yeah, yeah. So he says, "Gentlemen," and everybody stops the workout. He says, "I know exactly what you're thinking. A middle-aged black man coaching a white hockey team? You got no respect for it. Well, let me tell you here, boys. I know hockey. I know hockey."
Yeah, I do. I do remember that clear as day.
That's speech.
I remember we fleeced him too during a workout because we knew. I don't know if you remember Dalton Lallier.
Yep. Dude, that's who I was living with. I was living with Dalton, with his because there was Larry, his dad.
So that was Clayton. So Clayton and Larry.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
We got to get into that in a second.
Yeah. I know where you're going. So, but yeah, so they we were up there and we told EJ, we were like, yeah, if Lallier can do a backflip off the wall, like our workout's canceled. He's like, no way. We've seen him do this a ton of times. So we kind of fleeced him, like, yeah, he's gonna do it. So I ended up getting the day off because we kind of took advantage of him. But no, he was a great guy, man. He does a lot for the game. Really, he's been growing the game a lot with, like I said, with Jamaican Hockey Federation and stuff like that. So he's done a pretty good job, and he's a great guy.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess two stories that stick out in my mind. So when I got there, I was living with Lester, right, the owner, and Lester, to paint a picture, is about, at this point in time, this is in 2015, he is about 65 years old. Is this pretty correct, Kim? Give or take?
Yeah, probably
60, 65. Yeah, shorter guy, about 5'7", balding, great hair, whatever. That's the kind of guy we're dealing with. And he's got this girlfriend who was like 25 years old at the time, smoking hot. We're like just what exactly? If you're listening to the audio version, what you're picturing in your mind is exactly what she looked like. If you're in the video version, I don't need to tell you. And she'd come over every single night. And she'd be like, "Oh, Lester, I'll be waiting in the car." "Okay." And he'd run to the kitchen island, yank out the drawer, and pop a couple Viagra's, and then go out on his way. There was one night, goes in the car, they drive away. 5 minutes later, he comes back. I'm like, "Oh, Lester, you forget something." He's like, "Got to pop a couple blues. I can't keep up with her, man. She's a demon." This is a true story.
That is awesome. Like I said, I've never actually heard that story. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, Lester was he's a character. He I want to say he was even a cop at one point too. Before he took the team over. Great guy. I actually got along with him pretty well. Couldn't tell you what he's doing now. I have no idea. But yeah, he was.
Dude, I got an even better story about Lester. So he takes me by the rink. This is a couple days in after I've seen the Viagra incident, and he goes to talk to the season ticket holders, office people or whatever, and talking to some lady. She's like, I don't know, maybe me and my husband might get a divorce. And no word of a lie, right in front of me says, "Well, listen, I can't remember what her name was, Pam or whatnot. Listen, Pam, if you get a divorce, I'll be knocking on the door day one. Trust me." I'm like, what a dog. What a dog. No, dude's 65, popping blues, and he's just got game, right? And that's not even where the wacky stuff goes. So I lived with Lester for like 4 or 5 days, and I was like, dude, I need to get out of here. I don't want to live with you. The place is too small. It's me, EJ, and Lester living in the same place. So they move into Clayton's place. And Clayton is one of the players on the team so here's the whole story, Pat, and you're going to like this one. So Clayton dates a girl in high school, elementary school for like a year. They break up. They start getting into like physical altercations at school. The parents come in to deal with it. The parents end up hitting it off. They get married.
No.
They get married. And so they're all living together under one roof, and I come into the picture, and every family dinner was just like fireworks. Somebody's arguing, throwing something, yelling at somebody. It was never a dull moment. And then So I signed like to play on the team, right? Scott told me, listen, you're going to be the starter, all this kind of like the normal BS they always tell you when they want you to sign, right? And I'm younger, so I'm taking it at face value. And so what was the coach's name again? Ivan? Jacek, sorry, my bad. So Jacek pulls me in after a week and he says, well, I don't think you're very good. You're going to be the 4th-string goalie, but our team fees are about $10,000 a year or whatever it was. So you can be here. You'll be the practice goalie for $10,000 a year. And I was like, dude, Scott signed me to be a starting goalie. That's what he told me on the phone. He told me over email. I have it in the email. Like, I'm not doing that. So, long story short, I'm not going to play for the team. And I said, okay, well, if I'm going home, I want you to pay for me to go home because I don't have any money to go home. I took you at your word. And Lester basically called me up and told me, go get effed, go get fucked. Like, we're not paying for shit. You can, kick rocks. And so I was like, well,
with his Viagra, using his
That's
Viagra,
literally-
he's gonna do it.
yeah. He said it to me with a boner.
So get fucked.
He's got a
you.
rager and he's saying it to me. So anyway, I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, I don't have any money. Like, I spent all my summer money to fly out here. What am I going to do? So I called the commish and I'm like, this is my name. This is what happened. Hopefully you can help. Is there any way you can help get me home? Yeah, give me a second. So hangs up the phone, calls me back 5 minutes later. He's like, listen, I talked to Lester. We don't want this to become a thing. We don't want this in the newspaper. We don't want this in the media. He is going to pay for you to go home on the condition that you don't make a stink about this and just, everybody goes in their merry way. I said, that's not a bad deal. Well, then I find out that son of a bitch put me on a Greyhound bus. He said, no, I'm not putting you on a plane. I'm putting you on a Greyhound bus. I'm like, but a plane's cheaper. He's like, nope.
Really?
You're going on a Greyhound bus. So I had to hop, and it was a different name. It was a U.S. bus. So I had to go from Traverse City to Detroit to Toronto to Winnipeg on the Greyhound bus. And it was about a 2-day bus ride. And the people that I sat beside on that bus ride, I sat beside like a crack dealer for one portion of the trip. I sat beside like a brown dude who was just like, making like mixtapes on his laptop or some shit. I sat beside a lady who claimed to be an MMA fighter. That was really interesting. Like, just
Maybe
all walks. Well, she looked like she could beat my ass. So I was very like, okay, be very respectful. Don't make eye contact. Let's keep the bus moving here so I get home safe. And so that was an experience on its own. And then also, so Lester picks me up, and I'm like, oh, shit, I know he's going to be mad because I ratted him out to the commish. And so he drops me off at the bus station, and as he's about to leave, he gets in my face. He's like, you f***ing dirtbag. We could have settled this peacefully, but you're just a piece of shit. And he just starts going off me. He throws a bus ticket in my face. And I'm thinking, well, at least I milked him for a free bus ticket, except I got to just grind this out for the next 2 days. And that was it. That was the Traverse City Massacre, the 2 weeks that I was there. So
He's laughing.
Yeah, so that happened.
I totally forgot about I didn't realize you were signed with the Sioux, which was a huge rivalry of ours, and we ended up getting a couple guys from that team that went and played with us. But yeah, I didn't, like I said, we were there, and I found that photo that day of us standing next to each other in camp, and I was like, oh my god, I'm pretty sure this is the guy. Like, I know this guy. And then I was watching the vlog and I'm like, holy crap, that's Trav. Like, I remember.
Hold on. To rewind it back to make a little bit of sense for people listening on the audio or the video version, there's a picture that somebody in the Traverse City news media took at camp, and it was a picture of me standing beside Cam. I found it and I posted it somewhere. Cam sees it, puts 2 and 2 together. That's the guy. Here we go. Now Cam listens to the podcast every Thursday.
Yes, sir. No, especially when, you get guys like DK and you got Brizgalov, and I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, you guys are the real deal now. And of course, Pat Shea obviously brings the women too as well.
He brings the bacon.
Pat, by the way, I need to ask. So you get a scrap, right? And so was it a goal in a scrap?
Yeah.
How is your fight rating in Chelsea? 65.
Whoa, this guy's educated. He came on prepared, Pat.
Well, yes, good. I don't know that they don't seem to put too much effort into the coast guys, or if you're like on a one-way coast deal, they just kind of you get a stock thing, and they don't really look into who you are or what you do. So I don't think EA Sports, even whoever makes it, I don't think they have any idea who I am, what I play like. If I've scored, fought, they have no idea. So they just toss on a rating and hope for the best. Which, yeah, I'm sure you watched my reaction video.
I did, absolutely. I watched it this morning. I'm not gonna lie. So that was pretty good. And the character too. I mean, it literally looks like they just took a picture of a random dude and just put it on you.
I know. There's a chin strap beard, no stash.
I guess you're ahead of everybody though. You're on there and I'm not.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. No, that's something. It was maybe in the new update they'll update a few things. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, but congrats to you. That's a great start. So
Thank you.
So our next guest here, we got Aiden Moore. This dude had some seriously hard-hitting questions. We said we like hard-hitting questions. We got to bring you on. So Aiden, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Obviously, you're listening to the podcast. You love the podcast. Where are you calling in from? What do you do? Are you unemployed? Are you laying low? What's your social insurance number and your credit card code?
Well, you just assume he's Canadian? Come on.
Well, okay. What is it? Your social
Security.
insurance number? Security. Listen, I'm just trying to make a couple bucks here. We're just out hustling here on the podcast. Come on.
Aiden, you used to join my locker rooms. That's what I was telling Trav when I was doing that app. So we used to chat a bit back then. Those are kind of funny. But tell the world about you. Tell them where you're from, if you play hockey, whatever you're doing.
I'm from Drake, Massachusetts. I played hockey for I think 3 years before I took like a long gap in between because I wanted to focus on bigger and better things. But I'm thinking about getting back into it.
There we go.
I've signed up for a couple camps, get my skills back on par. But yeah, I'm hoping to join back in. But yeah.
And how old are you? You a little bit of a spark plug? When's your birthday?
My birthday was December 5th. I'm turning 16. Yeah.
Oh shit! Happy
16.
belated, dude. You can drive. Can you drive yet or no?
January 3rd.
There we go. Big Mass guy,
dude,
too. We love Mass.
Oh yeah, dude. This guy's ripping in the high school parking lot. Skirt, just hammer the gas, hammer the brake at the same time. Pull the e-brake. Get in.
All whipping it with my grandma's Volvo, dude.
Hey, man, you can take Granny for a ride too. Anybody can come in that thing.
Yeah, we love the Volvo.
Anyway,
yeah,
you had some questions.
Say the same thing.
Yeah. So why don't we start with the hard-hitting question? The first question you had was waffles versus pancakes. You wanted to know our take, some hot breakfast items, correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Pat, you want to start us off?
I like a good, properly made pancake over a waffle, but only if it's made right. Right. Sometimes, depending on the batter, I'll go waffle, but pancake if it's made right.
Yeah, I got to go pancakes. You know what? Actually, true story. My woman actually FaceTimed me this morning to say that she missed my pancakes. She's like, I haven't had one of your protein pancakes in 6 months, and I kind of miss them. So that stroked my ego a little bit, kind of got the motor running, and I got to say protein pancakes. Banana, chocolate chip. Oh, yeah. Real deal, baby. Man.
I don't know, man. The thing is, like, you can make I think they're made out of the same batter. I'm not 100% sure. Don't fact check me on that.
One's a yeast-based, one's baking soda and a little baking powder. I went to culinary school. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, man. But the thing that tips the waffles over the edge is you don't have the syrup running everywhere. You get every bite, you get a consistent amount of syrup because it all just...
Because you can fill the holes.
We like doing that and Slangin The Bizkit.
We do like that. Yes, we do. I know all our minds went there. That's right.
If you're in the car and you're with your kids or you're at work, we're talking about waffles, people. We don't discuss those types of things on this podcast. I will say though, a crispy waffle, that's just tight dog.
I like
100% real maple syrup.
Belgian.
Oh yeah, you get the a little extra vanilla in there, some fresh vanilla bean. You get that real maple syrup in there, that 100%. You bring that Aunt Jemima shit in my house, I'll roundhouse you. You're not coming back in.
I hate Aunt Jemima's syrup.
Yeah, dude, my mom loves that shit.
I gotta go with syrup. You always gotta go with the real stuff. You can't get the sugars.
That's
doesn't
right.
taste right.
Straight out of the tree, right out of the tap, please.
So we got that covered. Your more serious question, Aiden, what did you have for us?
I'm thinking, what does the NHL need to do to bring the younger generation into it? I mean, if you think about it, you can see everybody, like as you guys said, I listened to your podcast. You guys always talking about everybody wanted to be a cookie cutter. Everybody wants to be perfect. You get no personality. You look at TikTok. You look at Juju Smith. He dances. He has his own personality. Every other sport has athletes doing things with TikTok, social media get to show the real side of themselves, and then we get to the NHL. It's just all cookie cutter.
I think you're, yeah, I think you're answering it too, though. Like, you'll see guys active on social media that are really like showing personality. I think social media can go a long way if you really let a hockey player show personality, or just put a camera on them and let them be themselves rather than who they're supposed to be and all proper, and just let them go. They'll hit like a broader, wider audience that might not even know about hockey, but they like that person and they'll go watch because of it. Like, I think right now, and it won't change unless they, choose to let people open up more. But I think social media can play a big role rather than just trying to be like the good, nice, proper guys that are all doing everything right. Just maybe let them do their thing, mess up, be funny, do it, whatever. And I think that can go a long way.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that it starts from the top down. You have this old boys club at the top that doesn't want guys showing personality because the media picks it up. You get these dirt bags like Steve Simmons from the Toronto Star, Toronto Sun, wherever the guy works. He's taking anything he can get, for an inch, running with it for a mile, releasing Austin Matthews' personal medical information, stuff like that. And then they run with it. And now the team's like, I don't want to deal with that. So they say, you know what? No more personality, no more creative answers. We're just going to stick to the book. We're going to give the cliche answers so they have nothing and nobody's going to tune in, which honestly works great from that perspective. But if you want to grow the game and get some personality in there and, get people actually like connecting with these players, because like you got to remember, like, this isn't like a micro influencer guys like Pat Shea and I. Like, this is like celebrities and they're not as relatable to begin with. So when you, they could be, but they're not as relatable because they're so huge. So when you bring that personality, it becomes a little more relatable, something to kind of grasp onto as somebody, Joe in Idaho who's watching at home, or Aiden in Mass who's watching on the NHL Network on Nesson, right? For the Bees game, Jack Edwards. Shout out JJ, Jack Edwards.
Yeah, but, there's not really a celebrity. There's not celebrities in hockey. Like, there's celebrities in every other sport. Like, you got Tom Brady, you got LeBron James, Michael Jordan. You got these guys were obviously, the GOATs. They were celebrities. Like, you got a guy, say, like, I don't know, Connor McDavid, right? He's the best in the world right now. I mean, you can't argue it if you want to, but it's pretty established. Like, he's top 2 if not. But he's best guy in the world, but he's not a celebrity. You go ask like someone on the street who Connor McDavid is, if you're not in Canada or like in a hockey area at a hockey rink, they'll probably be like, Connor McDavid? Like, they don't know who he is. Because that
probably heard the name, but they don't know who he is.
Maybe, right? If you go to L.A., let's just say L.A., you're in California, you go up to a random person, hey, do you know who Connor McDavid is? No. You know who LeBron James is? Obviously, LeBron James. You know what I mean? There's no celebrity in hockey. There needs to be something to create that like celebrity status, and it can make hockey more than relatable. They, like Trav said, they feel like they know the guy, then they want to go play hockey. There has to be more of that, like just more, because like LeBron James too, he's like controversial in a lot of ways. People hate him, people love him. Allow for that, But
I would say too. Sorry. I would say too. Like, if you look at like what Pat and I are doing, like Pat and I aren't. Well, sorry, I am not an NHL caliber athlete. You could say Pat is, but like we get shit for doing what we're doing, sharing personality just in some YouTube vlogs. Like, imagine like the real big dogs with real big followings from the media outlets say something like or do something that we're doing. They're taking that shit and they're running with it. So like, they want to condemn that from the top down.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, Juju Smith, everybody thinks he's the bad guy, dancing on everybody's logos, hundreds of thousands of likes.
That's great. It's great. He's creating a controversy. That's what I mean.
I can see where Gary Bettman is getting at. Like, he doesn't want to ruin the professionalism, but sometimes you really don't want the professionalism. Like, for example, I've been really into F1 lately because of watching Formula One Drive to Survive. They have a whole documentary. It shows like the underdogs because the big teams don't want any of that publicity. And I think it was a good move. And there's a bunch of videos out there. They didn't want any cameras at the track for dozens of years, but now it's a worldwide sport. Everybody has their hot takes. Everybody's thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, if you get down to it, the top person up there, Gary Bettman, I guess he wants to run the league an old way. And obviously, I think he just doesn't know how to run it. Just doesn't know how to run the
Marketing.
publicity. Yeah,
They
I
need to
mean,
work on marketing.
you got a dude like Josh Richards. Who is he? I've never heard of him. And now he's the NHL youth ambassador, dude.
Get the Nelk boys. You really want
Yeah,
to
honestly, yeah, they should have not gotten the Nelk boys. Those guys would be
but
way
they
better.
won't. They're too real, you know.
But that's the thing. Like you can't work with a guy like Kyle or Steve will do it or Bob Menery because they say shit that you and I think is funny because it's real. It's honest.
Yeah.
Like Bob Menery. Like when he first did it, I remember when Bob Menery first started his play-by-play commentary, and I saw it and I was like, "Is this a real broadcast?" Because right, like they do such a good job.
Yeah, it looks
He's
real.
like, yeah. He's like, fuck you, NBC. I've had enough of this shit. I don't get paid enough anyway. Joe Flacco, back into the pocket. Oh, and he lost his fucking head. He's dead. Like just like shit like that. Like it's so good.
He is very entertaining, and it was, I think, a real risk on. I'm not sure, but maybe behind the scenes, Gary Bettman might have said something because one of the first episodes that I watched in Nelk, they had Austin Matthews on there. Austin Matthews,
I remember that.
big sender. They just don't show that personality. I mean, Gary Bettman, he's an old dude. I don't even know if he should be running the league, dude. He's probably classmates with Moses, dude.
Yeah, it's not just Gary Bettman though. Like every team, it's like Gary Bettman is whatever. He probably his marketing isn't great, whatever. But it's every single team too. Like Austin Matthews, GMs and scouts and coaches. They're telling them you gotta behave. You say something wrong, they're on you. You know what I mean? They're on a tight leash, and that's not just Gary Bettman. That's just kind of the way. I don't know. Like the hockey culture was shaped within the last X amount of years or whatever, maybe forever. So it kind of it's not, I know, maybe not a specific person's fault, just kind of the way that it's happened, and it's a group effort. So I don't know. Hopefully one day we can see more of a hockey as more of a mainstream popular sport because it's kind of going down the list right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
My little cousins, they're 3, 5, and 6. I took them to go see Florida Sun Bears game. They weren't interested at all because during like the interviews, like the in between period interviews, it's just cooker cutty, and it's just a constant. I feel like they say more than they actually say stuff.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's tough.
But hey, dude, anyway,
good question. Good question.
Dude, we appreciate the time and whatnot. But we do have a couple more people that we got to get to, so we got to say thank you very much. We got to cut it a little bit short. Any final words you want to leave the people off with before we send you on your merry way?
I have one question for Pat. I think I'm going to one of your games in January if it's not canceled. If you play me in a game of NHL and you win, I will personally deliver you $20. How does that
$20? Dude, that's tempting on this Coast contract. Yeah, let's do it.
Can I broker this deal in? I'll cut you in at 10.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. So you send me the money, I'll send it to Pat, and I kind of take a percentage.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you hopping in, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much,
like
buddy.
The question. Good stuff.
Our next guest for the Merry Christmas, Happy New Year special, we have Liam Curtin. God bless his mother, just fixed the whole video audio issues. Ma, the video's not working. She tapped on the top of the screen. She booted the tower. Got her going. So now we got Liam on the podcast. Welcome to the podcast, buddy. Happy to have you on.
Thank you. It's really cool being here. I mean, I watch the vlogs all the time. Pat, it's good seeing you.
Good seeing you as well, brother.
I'm not a main fan. I'm an AU fan, but,
Okay.
It's all right.
Well,
hey,
what is with all the people we brought on today? Nobody watches my vlogs. They just watch Pat's vlogs.
No, Trav, I watch all the time, man.
Oh, yeah. Nice backpedaling. I'm on you. That's okay. We still love you no matter what. Got to give you a tough time, kid. We got to give you a tough time. Anyway, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit, dude? Where are you from? What do you do? Are you unemployed? Are you employed? Are you laying low? Are you unlicensed street pharmacist? What do you do?
First off, my name is Liam Curtin. Played Division 1 for private school. I work for my goalie coach, so we train little goalies at MTN Hockey.
Okay, yep.
Been working there part-time, just helping goalies, doing clinics, all that stuff. And yeah, currently a free agent, not playing right now due to I don't know what the rules are. Am I allowed to say that flu word, Trav?
You can call it the China or the COV. It doesn't seem to get
Don't
dinged.
no.
Sorry.
Don't call it the first one. That'll get us flagged right away.
Those are the two that I found haven't gotten dinged. So I'm rolling with it. You can call it whatever you want. Though. We'll censor it.
Because with that thing, obviously, everything's a pause right now, and I'm here in Montreal, Quebec.
Oh, dude,
How old are you?
Sorry to hear that.
I'm 15.
15. I was actually just up in Montreal like a week and a half ago. We stopped in for a couple of days with the team. It's a fun little city.
You guys played Trois-Rivières, right?
We did. So before we went up to Trois-Rivières, we stopped in Montreal. So it was good rip, good fun. You got a couple questions for us, or did you have the one question? Was it, Trav? Or
yeah. So Liam, do you want to ask the question?
Yeah, I was just curious on your opinions on the cancellation of the U18 women's hockey tournament for the IIHF. Also, maybe a little World Junior predictions. I know Trav's rooting for Sweden, but
dude, I got a lot of people really mad, including my dad last night. Oh boy. Dude. Okay, we'll get into that, then we'll get into the women's thing after we do this first. Yeah. So first off, my dad has, since I announced to my dad publicly and privately that I would be cheering for Sweden, he's called me a traitor and is like, "What is wrong with you?" He wants to legally unadopt me. I know my dad's going to hear this and say, "Son, I didn't say this." "Dad, we're playing an adopt. You're disappointed in me. I love you." Anyway, so I texted him last night because my dad, usually texts me a play-by-play during all the Jet games and whatnot when I'm home. But now that we're in different time zones, he can't do that because I'm asleep. Well, I stayed up late to watch the game last night. And I said, "Hey, Dad, the Sweden-Russia game's on." He's like, "Oh, well, I'll turn it on right now." And, we're going back and forth talking about the game and whatnot, which was exciting. But I'm a big Sweden guy because, so Jesper Wallstedt, their starting goaltender, and Kalle Klein, the backup goaltender, both came on the podcast. In my opinion, I don't know if Pat would agree with this, but the Jesper Wallstedt episode is what I felt got us some momentum and kind of helped the podcast kickstart to the growth that we've seen in the last couple months. So for that, I'm grateful. He was just an awesome dude. He reposted the podcast. He's reposted my reels. He's been in constant communication with me over DMs and my stupid messages I send him every single day, just going over different ideas. Hey, you want to do this? You want to do that? Like different collaborative ideas. Like he's been very, very nice about it. And then Kalle Klang, same thing. As a matter of fact, he actually reached out to me and was like, "Dude, I love the vlog. I saw the Traspec Pro Laces. What is it going to take to get me a set?" I'm like, "Dude, I'll take the set off my pads. I don't give a shit. I'll get you a set." Got him a set. Loved them. Was like, "Dude, I need a set for the World Juniors." We rushed him a pair, so he's wearing the Traspecs for the World Juniors for his Sweden set and his SHL set. And then he was on the podcast again, reposted, just first class to me. Like he actually, I don't know if I told you this or not, Pat. He invited me over to his place to come have coffee with him. Probably about a month ago.
You guys are getting serious.
I had to cancel because I had some shit going on that night. But just first class, nice people. And for me, I was always raised to be very loyal to those types of people. I'm also living in Sweden, and I'm thankful because Sweden has given me so many opportunities over the last year and a half of my life, both with YouTube, with the podcast, and just actually being able to pay the bills and not be in Canada without a job or any employment. So for those reasons, I'm cheering for Sweden. I'm loyal to the guys that have been loyal to me. Also, Sebastian Kosa, 18th overall pick, goalie for the Red Wings, or pick for the Red Wings, goalie for Team Canada, iced my DMs. Can leave it at that. Although I did send a message to Dylan Grant the other day, wish him a Merry Christmas. He said, "Thank you so much, Trav." Actually, he was the one who planted the idea in my head for me and Pat to do a podcast. I don't think I ever told you that, Pat.
Oh, no.
So starting goalie for Team Canada, Dylan Grant messaged me after the podcast I did on Behind the Cage last year or whatever. And
really?
He's like, "Dude, I love the podcast. You should make you should do a podcast together." He was one who planted that idea in my mind. Yep, Team Canada starting goalie.
Damn, little did I know.
Yeah, I never told you that.
So is it Wallstedt? I think Wallstedt's the next guy up.
Dude, the thing, when you see Wallstedt in person, he's so good. Just the skating, or like last night, him and Askarov, it was a man versus a boy. It wasn't even comparable, how good Wallstedt was compared to Askarov. And I think Wallsted's the best goalie in the tournament. I'm very biased. Keep that in mind. He also may have a set of Traspec Pro Laces on the way for him. The Zamboni driver in the rink stole them. This is a true story. Actually, can I tell that story real quick, too, while we got time?
Do it.
So there was no way for me to give Jesper a set of Traspec Pro Laces because Lulia wasn't in the area. So what we did instead, I was going to give Kalle a set. He was going to give him the Wallstedt. I went to a game. after the game, Callie was taking a little bit of time. I had to get going, so I told the Zamboni, like the rink guy, I was like, can you give this to Callie for me? Sure thing, no problem. I filmed me giving him the laces and then him walking away. And to this day, Callie has not received the laces. I think that bastard took them and put them on his set. I think he stole the laces.
Damn right he did.
Get them, and Wallstedt never got his set, so now I got to get Wallstedt another set. So that's that. Well, I got worked up.
Man, my laces just snapped on my pads. I think I got.
I need a set, dude. Dude, they're selling so hot. I can't even get a set right now, dude. Like I messaged Mike. I'm like, I need 3 sets. He's like, nope, you're gonna have to wait till after New Year's.
I gotta use that Trav sucks promo code.
Dude, the best promo code, the code that does not suck.
Does great
Pat, do you have
things.
any World Junior predictions while we're on the topic?
I mean, I'll roll with USA, the home country boys. That's
Yep.
I'll root for them. I don't know if they'll pull it off or not. Statistically speaking, they won't, but I will cheer for them and go with them as my pick.
Hey, worst case, we'll accept you on the Sweden bandwagon. If the U.S. get knocked out early, you can come on over, jump on the ship.
Yeah, that is great to hear.
I wasn't that impressed with. I watched the Americans game yesterday. I also watched Canada. The Americans didn't have a great game, only 3-2 against the Slovaks, but also Canada came off to a slow start. I think Sweden's looking really good though. They have good players: Alexander Holtz, William Eklund.
Dude, Eklund is so nasty.
It's probably the best tandem in the tournament by far.
Dude, I made a joke to my agent last night. We were FaceTiming, like the Canada-Czech game. It was like Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. at the Highlander, a little 3-on-3. First goalie to make a save wins. Like nobody could stop anything in that first period, you know. But then all of a sudden they started making some saves, which was interesting. So, although I probably shouldn't.
Little rough start to Dylan Garon, but probably just tournament nerves.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. He's been nice to me. I take that back. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Come on, Trav.
Shit.
Come on.
Just putting my foot in my mouth. Sorry, boys. Anyway.
Second question.
Women's
hockey. Our reaction to the news, I think, is what you said, right? Like that they canceled it. What was the reasoning? Have they said?
They said COVID, due to COVID, but like it looks bad obviously because they're hosting the World Juniors and they still haven't canceled the U18 men's coming up in April in Germany, I believe. So this women's tournament was actually supposed to be in Sweden, but they canceled it due to COVID.
Is it the World Juniors?
Pardon?
Is it the World Juniors?
It's like the Women's World Cup of
Women's IIHF tournament.
Like the funny thing that I find about that too is like if it's going to be in Sweden, we're talking in like the best country in the world to host a tournament because nothing's shut down. Like the only thing here to date that is shut down for the new update to the COV is the titty bars. The titty bars closed down last week. But if we're being honest, that was probably a problem beforehand. So it's probably better that they closed. So nothing's really changed here. So like,
so they haven't canceled the guys though, is what you're saying. Like obviously that's why everyone's in an uproar. I saw on Twitter and a few people on Instagram. I mean, I don't know the full reasoning of why. Obviously, it looks bad if they cancel that and then not the guys, because obviously, like they want to grow women's hockey. If I had to take a guess, I feel like it would have something to do with maybe the fans not being allowed there, and then like they would be concerned about income.
I was thinking the funds, like providing funds, or like TV
that's what I
revenue,
mean.
TV.
That's what I mean. Because if there's no fans there, then the TV revenue wouldn't be great, which could be a reason. I don't know for sure. Obviously, it sucks. Like it's like there's people freaking out about it, but I don't know because the guys would probably get TV rev. So it could be if they like cancel the in-person fans, then at least then the TV revenue would be there for some rev for the men's, I guess.
Because here's what I'm thinking: if they're investing millions of dollars, renting out a nice arena, having all these, getting volunteers, all this stuff, putting on a massive tournament for these women, but then their TV revenue, they're only collecting a couple $1,000, but they're investing millions. That's probably where I see it. But then you have the World Juniors, right? That's like a tradition for hockey.
A lot of people watch.
I like watching the World Juniors more than the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of people do. Everyone watches the World Juniors. The day Boxing Day comes, everyone's on the World Juniors. It's all they have all the hype. all the stars up and coming.
No, it's true. It's everyone in the hockey world talks about it, and it's on every hockey player's TV. It's a fun thing that definitely brings in people to watch. So is it fair? No, it's not fair. It sucks, but unfortunately, it happened. So I mean, I don't know the full reasoning why, but yeah, no, I guess that's all I can really say is like that's shitty and unfortunate.
And the IIHF has taken a lot of heat, man. A lot of heat from these women. I don't know if you saw, but all these women on Team Canada are tweeting Sarah Nurse, all these girls, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Raged. I mean, it looks bad, right? It looks terrible. You host all
these. It does, and it sucks for them because like they've obviously put in a lot of work and they were gonna play in their, World Cup or whatever, and then it gets canceled. So like that's pretty shitty. So I don't know, Trav, what's your take on it?
Dude, like the reason the IIHF is taking the heat is the same reason I take heat for like my 2 cents on this, and like it's just like a business. You know what I mean? Like like you just mentioned, Doc. Like the World Juniors is just a cash cow. Like even like last year when they had no fans, they're still doing it. Why? Because everybody and their dog is watching. Like you know what I mean? Like you don't even need fans in the building. You don't need anybody in the building. You can still make a shit ton off the World Juniors, like the under 20 every Christmas. But the problem is, everybody in the world thinks that money's just a big handout. When we're talking about running a tournament, men's, women's, whatever, it costs a lot. It costs a lot of money to fly people there, to get the staffing together, hotels, the rinks, the buses, the meals. Everything costs a shit ton of money, and people don't want to talk about this. The women's game isn't very big, so when you have like literally like no money coming in to begin with, and the IIHF's like, well, okay, this COV is running rampant, they're shutting shit down, so why don't we, instead of us spending money and then having nothing come out of it, why don't we just shut it down as is, cut our losses, and move forward next year? I know everybody's upset, but it's a business. Everything is a business. They're not hosting the women's because they're looking to lose money. They're not hosting the World Juniors because they're looking to lose money. They want to make money. It's a business. Life isn't a hand-me-out. You don't just go to the bank and ask for $1,000 and they give it to you. They give it to you on interest on your account, and you're going to pay that back. Like say what you want that the IIHF and people like me are sexist to women's hockey. It's business. It's business.
No, dude, but it's also the same. It's the same reason that like the Coast last year, like a lot of the Coast teams were canceled. It's the same reasoning. It's just like the NHL could go and they did the playoff in the bubble and shit because it's still everyone's watching it. You're getting the income, the sponsors, everything. But like for a Coast team like myself, like my team, it's not like our only rev is like, yeah, we'll get some people in the stands in some areas. Like fortunately our team gets a decent little crowd. Some teams get like barely anything, but it's the revenue that keeps like a Coast team alive. And then if you take the fans away, then all of a sudden like there's no rev coming in. Then it's like you're relying on the NHL team. That's why the Coast, a lot of it was canceled. It's
terrible investment. You're losing.
Yeah, it's the same idea, and like I said, it's not fair, and it sucks for them, and it's unfortunate, but it's just kind of the way that it's kind of the way it is, and that's just, I mean, it's shitty for them for sure.
Well, exactly. Well, if I asked you for $100 today, are you gonna expect me to pay you back or no?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I would hope you expect me to pay you back. If I took the $100 and ran, you'd probably be pissed. That's business. You want value in return for value. But our final guest for today's Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's episode, we got Austin chiming in from somewhere I don't know because I didn't bother to ask him. Austin, welcome to the Slangin The Bizkit program. You're the final guest for today's episode. Please introduce yourself, who you are, how old you are, where you're calling in from, what do you do for work, are you unemployed?
Hey, so I'm Austin Davison. I am from Las Vegas. I was born and raised in Las Vegas. Right now I'm actually up in Toronto in Canada visiting some family. So that's who I am. I love hockey, and I just love podcasting and being on like this. So this is awesome.
We got something in common, my friend. You live in Las Vegas. I live in Var Vegas. It's the Vegas of Sweden. They call it Varberg. That's actually no, they don't. I just called that myself because I thought it sounded cool. It's quite the opposite, actually, but that's okay. Anyway, we're stoked to have you on the program. Obviously, you're visiting some family and friends. That's exciting. What do you do for work? Are you employed, unemployed?
So I was working. I worked as a tech support agent at a laser engraving company. I worked there for a year. I worked tech support. And that was pretty fun. I had a good environment in there. A lot of the more boring days, especially like towards the end, that's where I really discovered the podcast. I knew you guys were doing it, but I just sort of binged that entire thing in the last 2 weeks that I was there before I quit. So that again, thank you guys. You guys kept me alive through that tough period. So yeah, no, I'm not working right now. I'm going to school full time next semester at UNLV. So that's the plan.
To Austin's former employer, we apologize for influencing his decision to boot down your door and quit. We can be a little bit of a spark plug collectively sometimes, but he's in a better place. God bless.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you watching and obviously the support and your comment. I know I saw the one question for sure that you had, but if you can word it in your own words and ask us here on the podcast. So go ahead.
Yeah, so my comment was basically about how to stay motivated and inspired, especially in the face of hardship. And if you've, I know with you guys have basically, you're way farther ahead than I might ever be. I started hockey very late, and in the beginning I was on a role, I'd say. I was having a lot of fun with it, and I literally spent every waking moment trying to play. And my goal was to play for UNLV's ACHA team. They just have a little club team right now, and it's been my dream since, like, I'd say right before quarantine started to join that team. And I actually ended up when I first started, I was wearing some crappy rollerblades that my mom bought me, and I was just out in the front yard, in the front cul-de-sac, just playing ball hockey in the street by myself for hours. And I literally was at the point where I couldn't even stand up on skates when I first started, and I actually did end up going all the way to the UNLV tryout. So that's probably one of my most proud achievements. But to get back to the question, I do have a little bit of a story to tell after this too, but I've had a very tough year. My family has, and I just wanted to know how you guys really stay motivated during just through hardship, through a lot of losses, or if you have personal loss or any of that. I've just been very curious to see how you guys go about doing that.
Want to go first, Pat, or want me to go first?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It can be very hard to, and I know I guess there's different type of hardship, whether you're looking at like an off ice hardship or a hardship as in like you're not doing well, you're not playing where you want to play type thing, which I think you handle the situation differently. Like if you do you want more specifically like an off ice hardship?
If you guys don't mind, both. I've faced both. I want to see how you guys have dealt with both.
So for on ice specifically, I know I learned a lot my senior year of college, where I was dealing with a lot of injuries, so I had to miss time. I came back re-injured, tried to play injured, and it was hurting my season. Like I wasn't scoring because I really was playing with one arm. It was stupid. Obviously a bad look for the Panthers, who was like my draft, like the team that drafted me or whatever. So you start kind of stressing and like, oh crap, like I'm not playing where I want to be, but I also can't play to where I want to play because I'm hurt, I'm buried, I'm not doing well, the team's not going to want to sign me. Like a lot goes on in your head because you want to do good, you want to go make D1, you want to make the NHL, you know what I mean? You always want to achieve your goals, and when it looks like it's not going to happen, or that like it's going to be a setback because it's something that's out of your control, it can be very difficult. For me, I had to kind of learn and remember like why I was doing it in the first place, because you get so lost it becomes a business in a way. Like at the higher level you go, and you get so you want to achieve that goal so badly that you forget that you're doing it because you like it. Like you do hockey, you play hockey to have fun. So I kind of set back and I was like, okay, what, like if all things, like I look at all the things in my life right now, like I'm playing hockey, I'm in D1, I'm having fun, I get to play hockey, I'm 23. At the time I was 23. I look around at the other 23-year-olds I went to high school with, they're not playing their sport anymore, you know what I mean? Like And that's something that I look at, and even still now, like, even if I'm not playing as much as I want, or if I'm not scoring as much as I want, I'm always going to look at it like I get to wake up every day and go play hockey and have fun playing hockey, regardless of how the outcome is. That's what I get to do. So that helps my mindset always, because I can always just reset. If I have a bad game, I'll just reset. Obviously learn from it, but reset. I'm going to play hockey again tomorrow. I'm having fun. That's the biggest thing. And I think that helps the mindset a lot. And it's almost like you take it, not that you're taking it less serious, but in a way you're looking at it in a less serious way. Like, you're not so hard on yourself. You're just having fun and flowing. As for like an off-ice hardship, that can be very difficult. You kind of have to find like ways to like refocus yourself, where you can leave, an off-ice hardship there, and then when you get to the rink and play, you can kind of channel it where you can refocus yourself. It takes a strong mind, obviously, and it's tough because, like, say you lost someone, or like a grandparent, a parent, or whatever, or maybe your girlfriend broke up with you or something. You're going into the game and it's a huge distraction. You're feeling pretty sad, and obviously you have to take your time to either mourn or like deal with a breakup or whatever. But when you get to the rink, you kind of have to be able to like have that mental shift that when you get there, it's time to go to work or to have fun playing hockey, to use that even in that moment as an escape from that hardship that you're going through. Like, it pauses, it puts a pause on time. Look at it in that way, kind of. Those are things that I've used to help me over the years, and I mean, hopefully that helped you, and Trav can give his take as well.
Yeah, I would say you basically hit the nail on the head. Like, you took a lot of things I was going to say. I think just maybe like not taking stuff as personal, like not being personally offended or personally upset by things. Like, this is going to sound like cliche bullshit, but like this is like a universal truth. Like, when you stop caring about other people, and I'm not saying in the sense of like I don't care about you as a person. I'm saying I don't care about what you think of me. The only opinion that matters is me, and that's really it. You kind of focus more on the task at hand. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, there's some people that won't believe in you, some people that they believe in you too much. Like, somewhere in between there is the truth, and that's probably where you think you line up for the most part. I think if you're a realistic person. So I don't know if that really answers anything, because I'm trying to say something that Pat hasn't said, but Pat stole the good ones. Yeah, I'm stumped.
Yeah, those were great answers. If you guys don't mind, I don't know how much time exactly we have, but I do want to tell a little bit of a story about what happened this year. The personal hardships. I'm not trying to come on here and try and get sympathy or whatever. I've had a very tough year. So I'm a twin. My brother Blake, he and I, we shared a womb together. It's a running joke with our friends. Like, you guys can't be mad at each other. You guys shared a womb. But so I believe it was 2 years ago. I actually found out in this household. I was traveling up, just visiting some family a couple summers ago. I played hockey for the first time ever in like a scrimmage scenario up here. Scored my first ever goal too. I was just like on top of the world that night. I came back here, took a shower, got out, and my dad gave me a call, and he was like, "Hey, trying not to get too emotional. I don't want to ruin your guys' trip, but we just got back from the doctor's office, and they found out that my mom had stage 4 cancer. So she's the toughest woman I've ever met in my life, and she was a huge inspiration for me playing hockey. She wanted me to do what I love to do best. One of my favorite pastimes in the world was watching Golden Knights. Watched hockey like when we were younger, but I wasn't really big into it. But that was like my favorite pastime in the world. So we'd always spend time together watching hockey, and her condition got worse and worse and worse. And I was working at this time, and then I get a phone call in early February from my uncle, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to get home very soon because your dad passed away very suddenly." So my dad, he had a heart attack in his sleep. and he passed away. And then about, I believe, a month or two later, in April, my mom ended up passing away. So it was a huge shift change, and it was quite a blow. I was 19 at the time when it happened, and I'm 20 now, and I feel like I've aged 35 years in the past 6 months. So it's been nuts, and that's why I asked that question, because even through all that, I ended up that semester of college, I ended up flunking just because I had a house to sell. I had to figure out where I was going to move with my brother, and my parents, they had a couple cars that we had to deal with. It was just a whole lot of business, and it was really, really ugly. So I did, when you were talking about, or when you're giving that advice, Pat, I was just sort of looking at myself and thinking a lot of that is what I did. And I'm just glad that it's lining up, because for a while I just was questioning, I have so much bigger fish to fry now, with everything going on. Is hockey really worth it? Do I have time for hockey? And I really began to question myself. But that's another reason why I'd say that UNLV tryout was such a big accomplishment for me personally, just because that was, I think, 2 or 3 weeks after my mom passed, and I ended up, and these kids, I've only been playing for a few years, and when I first started, it was just rollerblading, and I could barely stand up on my own 2 feet, and to skate and keep up with, kids that have been playing since they were 3 or 4 years old up north, and I met some kids from Calgary and Boston and Saskatchewan. It was really just, I took a look back, and I was I was just very proud of myself. I'm not trying to, I'm sorry if I'm going off.
No, you're good.
That's good.
Yeah, this is, you guys don't even know how much being on this podcast means to me. I've been following you guys for quite a while, and this is just this is made my year. This has been awesome. So I really appreciate you guys, just the vlogs and the videos. I probably speaking for a lot more people too. It's keeping me motivated and inspired to just keep doing what I love. And I actually, tonight, in a couple hours from now, we're going to get some ice time up. I don't even know where. I think it's Pickering, Ontario. So we're going to go get some ice time tonight. So I'm super excited for that. So yeah, that was my story. I wanted to just tell that real quick. But yeah, I really just, I love watching you guys, and you guys keep me inspired. So thank you.
Yeah, dude, if I could say just for a quick sec, I'm really sorry to hear about your story. I think to myself all the time, my parents mean a lot to me. I don't have a lot in my life. My dad means some of the most to me in my life. And dude, if my dad kicks, I think I might go off the deep end for a bit. So the fact that you're still afloat, you're still going, you're still making moves, you're playing hockey, you're chasing what you want to do, that's awesome, dude. I think too, because that's a big blow, man. You lose your dad, and you lose your mom in a month span. What you've known for your entire life is that is gone. It's flipped the script, and you're making a lot of changes. You're rediscovering yourself as a person, and unfortunately, you don't have that guidance anymore. But first off, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm also happy to hear that you're still kicking and things are going well. And dude, we're privileged to have you as a listener on the podcast, man. Seriously, thank you for sharing that story. That was awesome.
Thank you, guys. That means the whole world to me. You don't even know, but. Yeah, so I did want to flip it around a little bit and get to a more positive note here. I'm gonna take this jersey off real quick. I wanted to talk about my favorite team for just a sec, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, we got time.
The Knights, baby.
I love the Knights. Yeah, go Knights, go. Oh.
Go Jets. What? Who said that?
Sorry about that. Hold on one sec.
This is a great plug for the video version. If you're listening in the car, you're on the AirPods, the speaker system, pull over. Go to a gas station and go load up the video version right now. Let's go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, yeah, they just fell out for a sec. Sorry about that. Shout Rebel Hockey at UNLV. They're I think last year they announced they wanted to try and make the jump to the NCAA. I think they want to go for D1, but I don't know what the process is for that. But yeah, that's the team that I tried out for. This is the shirt my mom got me last Christmas, so it means a lot to me. But that's another question I had for you guys is how do you guys just keep going, even just in the face of, I guess, a different type of hardship. If I know you've gotten to quite a couple tryouts, Trav. Like I don't, and a couple of them turned you down. How do you deal with that and come back up stronger?
Dude, honestly, I've just accepted it. Like at this point in my life, like I've been blessed with being able to play hockey for a living. Granted, yes, through YouTube and sponsors, but like if I didn't have YouTube and hockey, like I don't know what I'd be doing for a job. Like with the COV shutting everything down. Like I, honest to God, I don't think I would have a job if it wasn't for YouTube and for hockey. So in my mind, I'm like, well, your options are play hockey or be unemployed, go broke, and go on welfare and food stamps and do nothing with your life. So I've 100% bought in. Like this is my job, and so when you accept that it's your job, it doesn't really matter if some coach tells you suck, if things go well, if things go bad. Like it's business. Like in my mind, it's business. Like every day it's business. I'm bringing the shovel, I'm bringing the work boots, I'm bringing the hat, and I'm just trying to do the best I can to get a little bit better. And a lot of people don't like it, a lot of people do like it, but just no matter what happens, because I've bought into that mentality and I've subscribed to that, I'm gonna keep going about my business whether people like it or not. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get that. It's funny because I feel like every time this might be a little off topic, but whenever I bring up Pache and Trav to like my cousins here, because I make a lot of references to you guys and the videos you guys make. I love the content so much, and my cousin Armin, he owns this house I'm staying at right now. He's a very big reason why I got into hockey in the first place. He's Canadian. He loves playing hockey. I think he just started playing once again after there's been a lot of restrictions. There's some new ones here recently, but he just played for the first time in a long time, just maybe a month ago. And I've talked to him. I'm like, you know what? If you need some inspiration, if you really need to get motivated about getting stuff done, especially when it comes to hockey, you got to go check out Trav on YouTube. Like that dude has such a great mindset, and I just I've tried to spread that motivation I get from you guys with other people. So it feels a bit surreal right now being on the podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, dude. We're just two guys that are thankful and appreciative that you watch the vlogs and listen to the podcast, dude. Honestly, it's been real. On that note, if you're fine with it, what do you say we cap off the Christmas Happy New Year special? We want to say thank you so much to everybody. Like you don't have to be Emma, Aiden, Cam, anybody going on the podcast. Just the fact that you're listening in the car, in the AirPods, at the gym. On YouTube, like you're my dad listening, like anybody listening, like thank you so much. It's been 9 months, 40 episodes. We're still going to go strong. We're going to finish off the calendar year at 52, but we are beyond thankful to have you be a part of this. And we hope everybody has a great Christmas. Hopefully you didn't get a lump of coal. Maybe you got hungry hippos. That'd be great. Like Pat wants hungry hippos. Yes. And I didn't get it this year. Starving. But it's been a blast. Pat, you have any words to send us home?
No, I just want to appreciate or say that I appreciate everyone who watches and lets us keep doing this. I know we're climbing the ranks and whatnot, but it's the viewers every week, the commenters, the guys who are buying the Manscaped thing. I know we don't have them right now, but just you people, like you're making it a possibility for us. And like Austin just shared a story with us and said how like we've helped him this year, we've impacted him, and I think that's something that, like, I don't know, for me, like I kind of forget sometimes that like because we get so caught up in editing and the process of doing what we do, that we kind of forget that we can make an impact like that on someone. And I really appreciate you sharing that, honestly. Like that's nice. That is cool to hear that we were able to do that for you this year. And if you're one of those guys like that, then I mean, we're happy that we can provide that for you, or give you an outlet or an escape from whatever's going on in your life. So we appreciate the hell out of you guys. I'm glad we got to have 5 or 6 guests on today and whatnot. So yeah, just thank you. Grateful for you guys.
Absolutely. And to the people that did submit a question, because if you're on the YouTube version, you don't follow Pat on Instagram, we put out a little burner, a little flare on Instagram. Send us a comment. We're going to pick you. We're going to bring you on the podcast, answer your question. If you submitted a question or you were too late, Please do not burn my house down. Do not spam me in the DMs. I apologize. If we gave 20 minutes to 100 people, we would be doing a non-stop 24-hour podcast. So we were thankful to the people that came on. Maybe next time. Maybe leave a comment down below. You can be Viewer of the Week. We can bring you on for the 2022 Merry Christmas, Happy New Year special. We'd like to thank you for listening, as always, every week. New episodes for Slangin The Bizkit, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific, 7 a.m. in Winnipeg, 2 p.m. in Sweden, 1 p.m. if you are Emma in the UK, 3 p.m. in Finland, or 9 p.m. in China. Thank you for listening, as always. We will catch you next Thursday for Slangin The Bizkit, episode 41, with some guest. We have no idea who it is. Talk to you then. Merry Christmas.